So it looks like the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy is officially clapping back with some official statements, also some sentimental ones as well, as it looks like this pretty much meme to death statement of lowering expectations continues down this path. And I will start off with the Reddit post, which someone looks like they reached out to him personally, and this Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy actually did respond. So the guy is Casey Royal 94. He says, so I got out in 2016 and a friend of mine took his life while I was in. The news of what MCPON said completely irritated me, and I went to the MCPON's official Facebook page and messaged him asking if we could talk. No reply. I then said that maybe I should just lower my standards expecting a response. Here is his reply. Now, he does show the official message from him as proof here, and it looks like Master Chief responded by saying, good morning. So this is the official page for the office, and as such, between my own page and the one serving the Navy in public, it's an impossible task to respond to everyone personally. For some reason, with your note at the top of the queue this morning, I thought I respond just to you. So I don't know who you are / can't see if you served, if you're serving, or where you might be, and so contextually, I don't know where to start a conversation. So the easiest thing I can say first is that the quote that circulated on Reddit was not something I ever said, nor did I chose words to even imply that. There is a transcript that is out there now circulating the highlights that, but once the wave was in motion, that actually happened seemed to matter very little. And even if it comes with some humiliation at my expense, there is value in that. It highlights a somewhat unacknowledged, underestimated anger in many places and is a barometer that is just as valuable as any climate assessment survey in understanding that. Now, on top of that, it looks like on the Office of the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy Facebook page, they have made an official statement about what happened, and this is what it says right here. As a senior enlisted leader in the Navy, it is my responsibility to visit the fleet and hear from sailors who may be struggling or facing personal issues that they need an advocate for. I do this by engaging in open and honest dialogue. My heart is with the sailors on the USS George Washington who are hurting from loss. During my visit to the ship, I wanted to learn about the difficulties our sailors are facing, familiar to me from similar situations during my tours, and to understand their concerns. I heard the crew that day and far more sailors before and since then. I am in ongoing discussions with our senior Navy leaders to share these concerns and to ensure they are aware of the issues and their impacts on our sailors. Now, here is the official transcript that was posted, which has every little, as you can see here, a million times, I wish they cut that out, but I guess it's to show legitimacy. So I wanted to make a couple notes of some things that he talked about. So people were like, yeah, he went to mental health last year and he was able to get seen because he paid for his own care, which he says right here. And that's what he did. He said, I'm going to be in a different place 6 weeks from when he was actually trying to get seen. Now, granted, you know, as someone that's worked in the military health system for so many years, and as somebody that has a master's degree in healthcare administration that can talk about this intelligently, 6 weeks is actually the average of what you're going to see in the civilian sector as well, on average. So that is one factor. And I also want to add to this, like, this is also in perspective, the MCPON. He didn't get preferential treatment and get told he's going to get seen 6 weeks earlier, right? Ahead of the E3 or the E2 or whoever it might be. And then here you can see there's actually a question by a sailor that talks about, like, how are we getting more access to care for these mental health issues? And he's saying that, you know, he doesn't mind going to the chaplain, but these people are, you know, rather than having chaplains, why not have like a doctor? Which he does go into here, pretty much talking about the idea that essentially there are only so many healthcare providers. There are only so many people that can actually do this job, and they are at the burden or at the mercy of what we call med school, which on top of that, they have to go through a residency to become a psychiatrist after the 8 years of schooling. So you're talking about like a decade-long experience here, which I don't think excuses things, because there's things that we can do immediately to help reduce some of the issues that sailors are having that are driving him here. But he does make a valid point. Now, on top of this, I have to say there was a video I made a year ago that was about this, where we actually had a Air Force report where some of the top mental health providers of the Air Force were saying, we need more money, we need more funds, we need more people to do this job. And you know what happened? The budget did not approve it. They didn't get anything. So next year, same thing. It's 2 years in a row. It's not the Navy, but I want to say not one branch of service is totally, its own thing versus another. And a lot of them do face some of the similar issues. At the same time, I have to ask, how do we get those people in the Navy? How do we get them to actually come into the service? And that is by paying for med school. We already do that. And if you don't know, the average debt right now for someone coming out of med school is anywhere from $200,000 to somewhere around $300,000 worth of debt just to become a doctor. That doesn't include time during residencies and things like that, where they're still not making as much as they would as a full-fledged doctor. So the turnaround time for a lot of this is pretty slow. So where I want to go with this is the fact that I think that the MCPON is obviously a figure, right? But, a lot of what these sailors are being frustrated with is the ground level of what they're experiencing every day. They're not exactly mad at the MCPON per se, right? When we look at these resources, we look at these things, the MCPON is a influencer and advocate for the enlisted side of the military or of the Navy. And so essentially, does he control the DoD budget? No. Does he control the Department of the Navy budget? No. Does he have some influence over a couple things that are there? Yes. But the reality is, like, if you want to look at where the money is going, and if you want to say mental health is a factor, I would say start advocating for some of your congressmen and things like that are actually going to try and make sure that the DoD budget does contribute money towards these things. Because honestly, we're looking at ways to cut as much from healthcare, because no matter whether you're in the military or outside the military, it is very expensive. I am by no means giving a pass to the MCPON or anybody that's in leadership. Obviously, they do have oversight of this. But at the same token, I have to say that, some of this comes down to more individual level. And when you talk about jurisdiction of power and things like that, yes, the MCPON does have power, but he's not going to go tell the commanding officer of an aircraft carrier that these kids need buses to and from the parking lot, they need a hotel room to stay in, and they need all that, because that's not his budget to manage. Now, are there things that we could do that are different as far as how we treat junior enlists and things like that? Yeah, but, at the same time, I also want to say that comes down to individuals. That comes down to a lot of things that are, beyond the control of just, I have bad work hours, I don't have hot water and things like that. That can sometimes be attitudes and other things as well. So I'm always trying to say, how can I make this better? And really what I do is I go to work every day and I talk to people how I think I'd want to be talked to, and hopefully I've made some kind of lasting impact. And I think some people forget that within their service, and they forget that they should be doing these things, but it made me think, hey, I should be that good leader that's not always talking about work, but I can just ask how someone's day is going or whatever else. But hopefully you guys like this kind of different format, because it's not what you've typically had, because my camera died. So let me know what you guys think about the MCPON's situation now that official statements have come out, and it looks like we have this official document showing what was actually said. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it helps the channel grow, and we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.